Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic and wonderful Tuesday to you and your family. We're obviously going to take a look at Bitcoin here and help understand best practice, big picture. We're going to take a look at some liquidation levels and obviously support and resistance zones too to make sure that we're on the same page here. Probably even redraw out some new Fibonacci retracement levels. So that being said, if you are new to the channel, consider becoming part of our community. We have an awesome crypto trading space here, of course, with a community, signals, as well as, of course, a lot of different opportunities with sponsors, but even more so, my trading university. So make sure you check that out. Of course, if you're currently a member, don't waste that opportunity. I want to show you just really quick before we get started some super positive stuff here with our Discord community here, and take a look at one of our better members here, more consistent mechanical investor like that, 474 for Gala Long. ADA, 153%. Never thought I'd see those kind of profits from ADA. Shiba Inu, 244, and Terra Classic, 163. So great job, buddy. Very well done. And obviously, there's going to be little bits of profit be taken in either direction. But you got to kind of maximize your potential in either way. Obviously, some of us are taking some pretty significant advantage of some altcoins. So well done. Keep up the good work. And if you take a quick look at our signals here too, a lot of our signals from last week are coming through. We got a 10%, almost 10% spot for Matic, but more so 92% for a long position there. We're basically doing 10x for altcoins at this moment, and obviously Bitcoin too, 18 days for 75% profit. So I don't know about you, but I don't mind waiting that kind of time frame to just keep stacking my portfolio, right? So again, very good stuff there. Congratulations to all my community members that have that benefit. And obviously you want to become a community member, consider joining. We do have a 1 week free trial for our signals. One last thing regarding our signals too, we're going to have day trading signals coming to the community very, very soon, probably within the next few weeks, so be tuned for that. And I'm also going to provide an indicator available for sale on our website as well, which is basically just gives you the golden opportunities. And I'll show you more so what that means here in a moment too. Be sure to stay tuned. I'll explain how that works. So here's the thing with liquidation levels, just touching on it really quick. Again, the important thing to recognize with liquidation levels is that they kind of reaffirm support and resistance zones. So to me, when I see a large amount of liquidations at a certain area, it tells me we want to kind of pay attention, okay? So we can see here right at 25,000, we have probably the most amount of liquidations. That makes sense because remember I mentioned yesterday, if we hit 25K and break, we're going to see a short squeeze. A lot of shorts got destroyed at that level, okay? So all good in that sense. The price continued up higher from there, but you can see a lot of support there, so to speak. So the price comes back down and pulls back. 25K would be a pretty decent potential entry. Now we're going to look at some larger time frame stuff too, because we have a lot of resistances at those areas on the weekly and the monthly. So being above that right now tentatively is a very good sign. We can close the month off at 25K or higher. We'll be sitting pretty for a pretty decent potential increase moving forward. We also have a lot of liquidation levels at about 27, 28,000. Keep in mind, these aren't areas that have been recently liquidated because obviously the price never went up that high, but these are obviously positions that were at one point closed or closed early per se, because a lot of shorts probably got scared that the price was coming up to 26.5 and closed their positions at that level at a loss. Okay, so that's again kind of what that's reflecting. We can also see here too, tremendous amount, obviously that's pretty easy to see, but we got a lot of liquidations here for shorts. So the green candle basically tells you that longs were not liquidated and the shorts were. It's basically a positive sign to the upside. Open interest is also increasing, and look at that, fear and greed index, 56 now. So we went from a 33 to a 56 in 2 days. Okay, so obviously three white soldiers is here. I'll talk about that as well as a candlestick pattern that's important to recognize. There's a decent chance we'll see a pullback, but it'd make a lot more sense to pull back to this 25.3 range. Okay, so we'll address that here in just a moment. So let's first of all go ahead and take a look at a few things here. First of all, today's candlestick hasn't closed yet, so typically it's best to wait to draw out your Fibonacci retracement levels until the candlestick is officially closed, okay? So we'll cover that tomorrow, but there's a good chance that that'll probably hold true. But what we can do is kind of re-update here based on the most recent lows and just kind of see where we're at here for support and resistance levels. And we can kind of reaffirm that. And liquidations levels shows us that 27,000 is that level. But right here, it kind of reaffirms that 26,800 is a Fibonacci retracement level. So the price continues higher. We're probably going to have some resistance at that point. Okay. Again, that's just statistically how things typically work out. We can also see here at 25,300 is a strong support level. Okay, so obviously at that point, we want to make sure to reaffirm the fact that if the price comes down to that level, there's a good chance it'll hold, considering it had trouble breaking through that level recently, and if I recall correctly, also in the past. You can see this zone here, right here, at about 24 to 25,000 was a difficult place to cross. Okay, so again, take a long line and draw it out. It's exactly right there at 25.3. Okay, so again, round number 25,000, but 25.3 is effectively the current support that we should expect to hold based on previous resistance levels turning into support levels now. RSI is tapping 70 on the on the spectrum here. So good news is we're above 50, but with us being closer to 70, it's proven that we have a resistance level now. Okay, and it makes sense because 3 strong green days equals a 4th red day. So I would not be surprised if tomorrow is a red day just based on the statistical probability of 3 white soldiers coming to fruition. In my experience, it's probably like a 70-80% probability that you're going to see a red day on the 4th day when you have 3 strong green candlesticks like this. It's just the natural way of it, right? Profits are going to be taken. I'm not saying you short into tomorrow's trading day, just saying that is effectively what could happen and a decent probability now that we've had a convergence on the MACD. There's a lot of reasons why the price should continue higher, as I mentioned yesterday, but also is reaching that overextended point. Okay, most overextensions have a correction. I doubt we're going to come back down to fill that CME gap from the weekend. It'll probably be a little while before we see that. But for right now, I'm going to expect the price action to kind of go, at the very least, sideways and be range bound between 25.3 and 26.8. That seems realistic. But we need to hold this position for a little while longer to be able to confirm we're going to stay there, right? A lot of times you can get these false positives break through all these resistance levels. Late longs jump in, and then they get hammered. Okay, so be careful being a late long at this point. If we take a look at TD sequential, not much to note here. We're 3 days into this continuation, of course, or 4 if you consider that first green candle. But if we look at the 4 hour, this is where things get interesting. We are overextended on the 4 hour time frame. Okay. And this kind of leads into that 72-hour period based on Fibonacci retracement, as well as TD sequential kind of telling us that, hey, we've got a full 72 hours of continuation to the upside. There's a reason why we're going to see it pull back. Okay, it'll likely pull back tomorrow. Again, statistical probability there. Is it guaranteed? No. But if we take a look here, we see a 9 on TD sequential. Obviously, we have this little pennant pattern breakout, which is all well and good, but a second one is less common. So keep in mind, it's difficult to break out twice, yet alone a third time, because we kind of already had that. Okay, so we keep seeing these little flags and these pennants that keep breaking to the upside. For lack of better terms, a third and final one would make no sense. It's kind of like doubling down every time you win. You're going to eventually lose, right? So I would think that a long position right now would be very risky, considering the fact that we are extremely overextended. I've also been over 70 in the RSI for day and a half, somewhere in that range. So it's absolutely overextended. And while the MACD is converging still, it's starting to lose that momentum. Okay, and you can kind of see this here as well with these oscillators. It's starting to taper off, telling us that we're losing that momentum and that a potential correction is on the horizon. Okay, so definitely looking like that. Furthermore, as well, if we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud on the 1 hour, I'm willing to speculate that we're getting close. Well, actually, we're not, but we're actually losing momentum here, though. So this is one thing, the conversion line intersecting with the baseline. Once that happens, which could occur in the next few hours, that would be a signal to consider closing your long position or trimming it at the very least. There's a great thing about this indicator. It kind of helps you understand what's right and what's wrong. Okay, so good stuff there in that sense, and really just one of those things where when it comes to Bitcoin and the price increasing like the way it is, it's really important to help understand that when the price continues at this level for so long, there's no reason for it to continue much longer. Now, stranger things can happen, of course, a lot of fundamental catalysts, but we've been overextended for some time now, and it would make perfect sense for us to see a pullback. Again, I don't want that to happen, but 3 strong green days in a row, while we're getting some signs here that it's going to start losing its momentum, leads me to believe we're going to turn itself around. Okay, so the very last thing I do want to show you here is the CC Golden Indicator, and it's absolutely something that I think is important for you to know, kind of that this is not only an option or soon to reveal option, but that I've taken a lot of time to formulate this process and to make sure that I can bring this to the general public. So for lack of better terms, we're going to have this available on our website here soon, and what it is basically just an indicator that I created that gives us an indication of long positions that you can take. Obviously shorts are available as well, but it's more suited for longs. And what it does, it kind of gives you entry points here and then tells you where to potentially sell. Okay, so as we can see here, there's an entry target right here with confirmation right at the 24,000 mark. It wicks up to 24,700 and gives us a sell signal. Okay, so you can fully automate this as well with alerts if you'd like, but generally speaking, had you got in here and sold there, that'd be about 2.5% gain. We can see here as well another signal to go long and then to close the short, or sorry, to close the long essentially once it's overextended. Now keep in mind, there is some meat left on the bone, so in truth, you're going to miss some opportunities or take profits too soon. But to me, more conservative trader myself, I like to kind of take profits while I still can. All right. And again, you can see the same thing here. Entry, exit, buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. You're seeing a kind of a common theme here. So I just want to kind of show you that and just let you know that, you know, at this point, this isn't giving us any indication to go long just yet. And I would consider waiting, potentially consider a short position just based on the overextension. But again, stranger things can happen. A lot of shorts are getting wrecked right now, so I'm not suggesting you short. But if you do, make sure you use a fairly tight stop loss that's just above the most recent high. So a stop loss at 26,400 would make sense. So that way, if the price wicks up a little bit, you get out, it's all good. You take a small loss. You're not taking a catastrophic loss if the price continues to run. The probability of the price running right now is pretty low. So that's why I feel a short might be slightly more of an incline than it would be a long position, but you never try to bet against the house. We're still confirming bullish tendencies right now. And we're in a situation right now where it's just literally important to kind of be patient, for lack of better terms. So just one quick little reaffirmation here, kind of let you know. If we take a look at, of course, the larger time frame here, and we go with just say simple moving average on the monthly. We can see we're above 50 on the SMA. That's very positive. We can close above that this month, right at about 24,000 or higher. We're going to be in really good shape. Okay, so I love to see that. We're also testing 50 on the RSI, which is something we haven't seen in a long time. We've been under 50 on the RSI since April of last year. It's been almost a full year. Okay, so being back up above that would be extremely important. Same thing with the weekly here as well. We can see that we are above 50 on the RSI, which is positive, but we were recently getting rejected by the 50-day SMA, and we're above that now. Okay, we're also trying to break above the 200-day SMA on the weekly. That's extremely important. It's been a long time since we've been above that as well. So keep in mind, just because we break above that for a week or two doesn't mean we're confirmed. I think the monthly closure is going to be more important, but for lack of better terms here, a closure above 25K, right where that 200-day SMA is hanging out, is a good place to start. Okay, so I'm looking for a closure above 25K this month to give us somewhat of a bullish confirmation. Okay, hopefully that makes sense for you and I described that correctly. Sorry we jumped around a little bit here today. A lot of stuff to really understand and interpret, but I hope this was beneficial for you. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I look forward to seeing the next one. Take care.